No, we have a pretty good habit of being. I was going to say early, but
No, it
just
is.
yeah.
Do you
No,
look
we
at
like to go.
times and be like, right, okay, there's like 2 minutes, right? Let's like you've got to press the button now.
No, I mean literally like we're always sort of early to sound check, early to stage as well. So it's like probably carries over, you know.
You are the dream. How long have I got with you today? Just so I know how many questions I'm going to ask you.
How long you want?
Yeah, we don't have anything on, so go nuts.
Yeah.
Oh my God, literally, but like 6 months later, I'm still going to be sitting here. Okay. Thank you so much for chatting with me and just being here with me this morning. I really, really, really appreciate it.
Yeah,
So
no
thank
worries,
Yes,
man. Thank
you.
likewise.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
I've been awake since 4 o'clock, so really sorry if I'm like, nah,
Oh,
it's
nice.
fine. No, it wasn't nice. You know, when you wake up, you think I've got loads of stuff to do. I'm just gonna wake up now.
Oh, literally.
Okay, so I'm gonna just jump right in with the questions
All
and
right.
then yeah, let's just do it. Okay, so what was the moment that you guys went, you know what, let's just start a band?
Um, it was it's got a bit of a story to it.
Yeah.
You tell
We
me.
so we met in uni in a music uni in Guildford. Because I mean we've both wanted to be in bands since we were like teenagers or whatever, and I never really wanted to go to uni, but my parents wouldn't like shut up about it, and I felt really bad saying no. So I was just like, I'm just gonna go somewhere I can start a band. So I chose a music uni, and within about a couple weeks of being there and not really knowing anyone, I met this guy at a nightclub,
Yeah.
and
Stone cold sober. 100%.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I
and
believe that. All right.
I was in the smoking area, and he just comes out, and without even like genuinely, he's on his phone smoking a cigarette, and without even looking at me in the face, he asked if I can hold his cigarette. I was like, all right. And he goes inside, comes back about 10 minutes later, and he's like, "Do you sing?"
Still haven't looked him in the face at this point
No.
either.
And I was like, yeah, yeah, I sing. And he was like, okay, cool. And then he told me about a band he was in. And then I got his number. And I was like, oh, sweet, this is exactly what I'm looking for. And then I didn't hear from him for about a month. And then I went on joinmyband.com. You know, the OGs know.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I responded to an ad on there for like an alt rock band in Guildford. So I turn up to this practice to audition to be the singer, and he's there in the corner looking hungover
Yeah,
with the
definitely was hungover.
with a bass on. So
Yeah.
yeah, we started fucking around in that band, and then that kind of ran its course.
Mm.
Then we started a new band, which was like a hardcore punk band, which was essentially the same band. We just kicked out the guitarist because he was a knobhead.
Yeah.
And then that broke up, and then we took like a year off doing our own things, and then I came up with the sort of idea of CRASHFACE, and I'm fucking terrible on the tech side of stuff.
Hmm.
He's amazing. So I was like, I have all these ideas, but I can't make them sound good. So I got back in touch with him and asked
Yeah.
if he wanted to help me out. And then yeah, we had a couple sessions fleshing some tracks out, and we were like, fuck it, let's just
Yeah, let's just make it a thing.
let's do another band. So yeah,
3 for 3 seems to be going pretty well.
yeah.
So it's literally like you two versus the world. Everybody else's shit, just you two
I
are like,
pretty much
yeah.
Like, funnily enough, one of the first songs we wrote, actually, we ripped. We literally opened the comic book of Scott Pilgrim versus the World and just picked a lyric from there.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Which is
I
pretty
didn't know
great.
that before I said that, by the way. I didn't.
No, massive Edgar Wright, massive influence on this band.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's brilliant. So have you actually looked him in the face properly now? Obviously, when you first met and you were
I
doing.
mean,
Oh, that was a proper look of like,
it takes
yeah.
it takes a while, you know.
So you guys, it was around like lockdown, wasn't it? Was it like 2019, 2020, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
2020.
So
Mm.
how did you find like obviously creating and things during lockdown? It was like there was so much isolation and stuff. Surely you must have been so frustrated that you couldn't just get out there and do stuff. Like how did that work around that time?
Well, we like because we started writing together in what like 2019
Yeah.
ish. So you know, Charlie was still living in Guildford. I moved up to London at this point. And then sort of March of 2020, you know, we just about to release our first song, Charlie's moving in with us, and then like obviously the world shuts down. It just like both of us working pub jobs and that sort of thing, so we were actively being paid not to go work in a bar.
Big up follow.
Which,
nice.
yeah, which was pretty good. And then, you know, we just spent a lot of the time just like literally being creative up until the point we were sick of it and playing lots of Warzone.
It was bit, yeah. It was really just a bit of a blessing in disguise because it was like, well, now we actually live together, and now we want to take this band seriously. And oh, look, we don't have to go to work for a year. So
like, we just had
so for you guys, it was perfect. It was like you could get all of this down, get it there, and then when everything opened up, it was like, right, let's just smash this.
Yeah. I mean, before you know, even before lockdown was over, we were chatting with like Marshall, and then we signed with them for a booking on their booking agency. And then, you know, we had like management messaging us because they just found us on Spotify playlists, and we're just like, we haven't even played live yet.
I've never even thought about it. Are we a COVID band?
Oh yeah, hell yeah, dude.
I don't like that.
You get TikTok bands.
I don't like that.
We're a cover band.
Yeah, but you are like full on, like everything that you just said in that short space of time, that takes like sometimes some people like years and years and years, and literally you just had that come to you, like,
yeah,
that's pretty insane.
I mean, neither of those sort of working relationships worked out necessarily because we've since moved on, and we're working with other people now. But it was sort of our first sort of foray into the I'd say like the professional side of the music business, you know, and actually starting to think about things like a business, and it's never anything that we'd sort of grappled with or contended with. So it was all a massive learning curve, and you know, arguably we were pretty naive going into it.
It was pretty much a thrown in the deep end sort of moment, and I feel like we had to learn a lot of things the hard way and very quickly. But I'm kind of glad we did, because it was kind of like a crash course in being a band. Like it was, in the space of like a year or a year and a half, we learned what a lot of bands go through in like 5 years. So
fully understand what A Date Remembers all that beef was about.
But I think that's the thing. Like, I was listening, you know, like Justin Hawkins, he has his like podcast. I always like reference that because I love it. But I think there was a thing with like Steel Panther, and like they had all like different band names and stuff, and they got all like blown away because there was like all these like managements who was interested and everything, and ended up having all their they didn't get any of their royalties until they changed their name, because they had to do that learning curve. And it is like, if you don't learn it, you get chewed up and spit out.
No, absolutely.
I feel like you kind of have to, though. Unless you are fortunate enough to go into it off the bat with like a dedicated team around you that can talk you through everything. If you go through and starting it up independently like we did, and then having to react to all these people coming to you when you don't really know like what their intentions are, you know, it can end up being kind of tough. But like I said, you know, I feel like learning stuff the hard way is sort of the best way, because then you know what not to do in the future. So,
I mean, like I'd say like we're sort of inevitably drastically more knowledgeable about sort of the things we are looking for, the things that we enjoy, and it kind of all these sorts of relationships that didn't necessarily work out, like really just gave us that reason to like find love for it again, because it's so easy to get caught up in all that.
Of course it is.
Like in all the bullshit. So it's just really nice to sort of you come back to something, and then obviously we've just put out this EP, and it's like my favorite songs we've ever done, you know.
It's just it's just what you want to put out into the world, and that's it, not being told what you want to put out. And I think that's what keeps you going, and I think that's kind of gives longevity in it, isn't it? Is because if you try and please everyone else, that's it. Okay, so who are your musical influences?
All right. So I got Trent Reznor, Brian Molko. So Trent Reznor, obviously 9 Inch Nails, Brian Molko, Placebo. And then you know what? I'm gonna go with Jeremy Davis from Paramore and the Josh Farro. They're very like they were sort of big influences on me growing up. Anytime I listen to
It's pretty solid.
Early Paramore stuff,
Yeah.
it's
Definitely the early Paramore stuff.
Literally.
Yeah.
My Chemical Romance, if you couldn't tell. Water Parks, Austin Knight. I feel like he's an insane fucking songwriter, and been a big fan of those guys for a very long time. So I think he's influenced, especially the way I look at music in like the electronic sense and like the production sense. Like I'm still shit at it, but I get a lot more ideas now because of the stuff I listen to, and just especially recently, but mostly through my life, the thematics of Bring Me the Horizon as well. They always strike a nerve. So I'd go with those. Are we doing three? I think three's good.
I think
you've just done the power of three. And like what music? Like so like I think like when I was a kid, like my dad used to have like Meatloaf on repeat and like the War of the World soundtrack that used to like scare the crap out of me, but I'm obsessed with it now because like you do, didn't you? My mum like Fleetwood Mac. What kind of music was on when you were a kid, like that your parents played or whoever you lived with played? Like what did you grow up on?
The one album that I must have been like 10 years, not even 10 years old, like 7 years old. It was in my dad's car. He used to have the Third Eye Blind self-titled album, just on repeat. And obviously, being a 7-year-old kid, you don't really understand that half the lyrics are about like crystal meth and getting head and stuff like that. Like so I was just singing along, just like, do like crystal meth, look you up to you. It was just hilarious. But yeah, that was definitely one. It was like every drive to school, all that.
I love that, blaring out the windows as you're pulling up to school.
Oh, it's so funny.
My dad was a big AC/DC guy. And yeah, I definitely, when I was like getting into like sort of just enjoying like rock music in general, like a lot of it was like, it feels weird to call it classic rock, but I guess it kind of is. It was like, yeah, AC/DC, Bon Jovi, Aerosmith, like Guns N' Roses, all that kind of stuff. But my older brother, he was like, he's like a performing arts guy. He does like singing and dancing on like cruises, and like he was always like so in touch with like the culture of like music, like what was new, what was fresh. And he always like, he had like a subscription to like NME and whatever. So whenever I had a chance, whenever he wasn't there, I would like go into his room and like look at all the new cool shit that was coming out. So yeah, it was kind of a mix of like classic rock and like pop. Really.
Yeah, I like that though. I do think like the music that you have as a kid like shapes you a lot. I try like, I've got 3 kids and I always try like very tactical with what I play them. Although my eldest, he's like 17 and he was raised on like metal and punk rock and ska, and now he loves all like grime. So I'm like, you have absolutely and utterly rebelled against your mother.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, especially nowadays being a kid, it's like you just have instant access to literally anything. Like,
yeah.
Whereas, when we were growing up, it was kind of like, you either have to find a CD or you have to get like a dodgy link on fucking
LimeWire.
Using LimeWire to download LimeWire Pro.
Yeah.
That's the move.
Like
and it's like, why have I got all this porn popping up? I don't need Viagra. I've just got a virus with the new track. It's fine. Yeah. They have it easy now. So you've just released Maniac, which I've been playing for probably like the last month now on my show.
Thank you.
I love it. And my listeners absolutely love it. And that's with Sam Matlock from Wargasm. So how did it feel to be working with him? And how did that even come about?
We've been pretty good friends for quite a few years. Before Wargasm or anything, we were a big fan of his old band, Dead. So we've known him for a long time, and when I had the idea for sort of CRASHFACE and I had songs batting about, I actually went over to his place to do like a little writing session, and he actually helped me write and finish the first CRASHFACE song we put out, Systematic. So he's always been like a like a really good friend in this sort of scene, and he's always like just been like so down to earth with us, and we've always said like we need to do something else together, but with the rise of like Wargasm and everything, just how nuts it went so quickly. He was always just like he was like hardly ever in the fucking country.
Yeah.
So
how dare he? How dare you?
yeah, I know. So we actually got some time. I think it was like last August or something, where we invited him over, and we just like played him through a few ideas that we had, and the rough idea for Maniac he really loved. So we just sat down for a few hours and just like opened it up. And we got the track.
That was so much fun. Like literally just came over to I mean, because we were doing everything out of like my old bedroom in our last place. So it's just, you know, Sam came over. Just like we sort of fleshed out the structure and everything. Got to that sort of like chuggy breakdowny bit, I guess. And he's just like, yeah, no brain, just mosh. Like just chug it, keep it simple. Like as his sort of view on songwriting and how the like simple parts can still be really cool was like pretty eye-opening, you know.
Yeah, you learn from each other, and like that's the whole thing, it's creating, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then when it works and you listen to it and you're like, oh, that's so good.
Yeah. And it really does like like sound like we've both been like mashed together, like just like our energy, especially like live, like it literally just sounds like us, which I love. So.
Yeah.
When I very first heard it and I heard that intro, it literally was like, oh, like that. It was so good. I absolutely love it. Okay, so sorry, I'm reading off my questions because I can't remember them. I don't have brain. I do not do braining. Okay, so your new EP, Life and Death in the Wasteland, it was released last week. Is that right? Yeah, got it right. And you said on your Insta that was an important stage for you as a band. So what do you mean by that?
Well, you know, like I was saying about sort of those relationships that kind of don't really work out. A lot of the sort of the thematics behind this whole wasteland thing is just like it's kind of a metaphor for the state of the music industry and like kind of our experience of it so far. It's just I can't even remember where I was going with that.
It's like it's like what we were saying about that learning curve.
Yeah.
It's you know, we in the short time that we've been about, we've had a few like setbacks and a few issues, and you know, a lot of people that we work with now and that we've spoken to have, you know, they've all said like, yeah, you guys have just really been dealt a fucking shit hand. So this is kind of like coming out of that, sort of just like taking back, like, you know, the reason why we started doing this in the first place was just like, you know, to have fun and because we love writing music, and that's like the core of it. And it all got a bit diluted and a bit, you know, a bit poisoned like in the last year and a half or so.
Yeah.
So yeah, this the important part about this EP is just like it's us just going back to what we do and you know, cutting out like trying to be influenced by like what other people want us to do.
Yeah.
Like a little feels super important.
A little like testament to tenacity, because there are a lot of people I think who, having gone through what we did, were they in the same boat, I don't think they would have continued it, you know. It's, you know, there are a lot of it's just about sort of like really rediscovering that like love for something and why you do it again, you know, and what made you love it as a kid, and sort of just getting back to like, let's be honest, what's important, you know.
I think that's amazing actually that you worked that out so quickly, because I think that's why so many bands don't make it, because you do. I think there's so much poison in the industry, there is, and there's so much, they're basically trying to make money out of you, and they think, right, this is going to work, so we want you to do this, and I think it's so easy to get swept away by that. And when you kind of start going, actually no, this is what we want to do, and you literally stick the middle finger up and release an EP like this.
Literally. No, it's just like trusting your gut at the end of the day, and that's exactly, like, it's the only voice you can really trust.
I feel like
that was beautiful. That was beautiful.
I feel like that's a good backbone for the EP. It's just like, trust your gut.
This EP is you trusting your gut, and sticking your fingers up to people who try to make you change it.
No,
I love that.
And then it's all the better for it. It's fucking amazing. Like I love every single track on there, and it's all just kind of born out of this, you know. amount of shit, and then to make something that you can be this proud of,
like a
it's really
phoenix from the ashes.
I was going to do that. I was going to start quoting Harry Potter, but my
Yeah.
brain isn't. I'm just going to do a phoenix instead. The brain isn't there. I would have come up with a really good Harry Potter quote otherwise.
Wow. Like a pigeon from the ashes, maybe.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think that really sums me up this morning. I'm a pigeon from the ashes. So where was I at? Okay, so you have an up and coming live in the Wasteland headlining tour.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's next month.
Yeah.
Indeed.
How excited are you? And where are you playing?
Buzzing.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be great fun. Like it's the longest set we've ever done. It's like a nice say like arc of our catalog. That we're playing live, and we're doing some pretty interesting stuff. And yeah, I just can't wait to play some shows again.
We were actually in rehearsals last night, and it was actually the first time that we've, as a full band, have played these new tracks off the EP. So it was really exciting to dive into that and hear them for the first time. There's still some kinks that needs to be ironed out.
Yeah.
But
electronics don't tend to work when you need them to.
Yeah. But no, it's gonna be sick. The dates are October 10th. We're in Birmingham at Asylum 2. On the 11th, we're in London at the Grace.
Yeah.
Sick. On the 12th, we're playing a festival in Manchester, so it's Beyond the Music Festival. We're gonna be at Castle Hotel.
Yeah.
I think we're on at like 10 at night, so that'll be fun.
It should be sweaty, that one.
Yeah.
And everyone will be smashed. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. And
then
that's
what we like.
Final day is Sunday the 13th in Sheffield at Sydney and Matilda.
That'll be a good one.
Yeah.
That'll be a good one.
We're actually also doing some a couple more dates as well. When is this coming out?
This is going to be out on a week on Friday.
Okay, yeah, we'll have it announced by then.
Yeah.
We are.
And I'll share it, but yeah.
We're supporting Wargasm for a couple of shows. We are doing October 20th at the Pioneer Club in St. Albans, and November 8th at Crawford in Milton Keynes. So
Amazing.
if you actually want to hear Maniac live to its fullest extent, come on down.
Yeah.
I'm going to be there on the 11th. That's the day, because I live near London. So where do you guys see yourself in 5 years' time? What is it where you look back and you go, do you remember when we were sitting there and we were like, let's do this, and now we're there? Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
So, yeah, Japan. I see myself in Japan.
What, like eating sushi in Japan, or like playing in Japan,
like
or
living,
mobbed in Japan?
Sat under a cherry blossom tree, writing a haiku, sipping some sake, contemplating life.
That sounds beautiful.
There you go. That's the dream, and it will happen.
Yeah,
it will happen.
Yeah.
I'd like
the band.
You can be there too.
It's so selfish. Oh my god.
Yeah, in a broader sense, I'd just like to be on a cool tour bus on the road somewhere that I haven't been before. That, and actually have like a fairly half decent home studio as well. That'd be nice. But
Gotta learn how to use it first.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'll just I'll do what I've done with everything else. I'll just YouTube.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
Literally, like YouTube is the best thing for it.
Yeah, I just we spoke yesterday, like how like a few, like he works on like crews and like TMing and whatnot for other artists. So he's been doing a lot of traveling in the past year. And he was saying like how certain like crews and certain artists, like they find it difficult to be on the road for long periods of time and whatnot. But yeah, we've like both agreed, like, that's like
it's literally all we want to do.
Or albeit we haven't done like crazy long runs yet. It's like, the whole point of it for us, aside from obviously playing the shows, is just like exploring the world, which we're both really fond of. So yeah, any fucking 2-3 month long tour you want to throw me on anywhere in the world, I'll do it.
Yeah,
so,
literally.
Let's go for it. Life's too short, isn't it? I heard this thing, was it before you die, you apparently have 6 minutes where everything runs through your brain. And it's like, are you gonna have those 6 minutes where you just stayed safe and did nothing, or those 6 minutes where like you just went for it?
Yeah, literally.
Went on tour, traveled in a bus.
That's the thing though, is like it'll be a lot of hours sat in a van. I think would be my 6 minutes replayed. It'd just be a lot of hours behind a wheel.
Under a cherry blossom, like
That'd be the last minute. But yeah, no, it's just like we just both want to be on the road.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the thing. Like we love writing music, we love playing shows, and we just love seeing brand new service stations.
In 5 years' time, what do you
Brand
think?
new service station.
That'd be album 3 territory. 5 years' time. I think so.
Yeah. So who would be your dream like artist or band to support?
Right, we said
or them supporting you. Let's turn it around. Let's manifest this shit.
Oh no, I can't do that.
No, but you can do both. Come on, we can do a bit of both.
All
I don't know what this is.
Well,
I'm throwing down my gangster hands. Sorry.
We'd love to support My Chemical Romance one day.
Yeah,
that'd be That's kind of the dream.
I have no other answer.
Yeah,
just literally My Chemical Romance.
I mean, I'd love to support Nine Inch Nails. I just don't think the crowd would really like us.
True.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. And then a band to support you.
It just feels weird. I'm trying to think of like, I'm gonna be considerate.
Rick Astley.
Rick Astley would be dope.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I'll be up for that.
He would be the best person to get the crowd going as well, innit? You know it.
Oh, literally, he gets 5 minutes and he can't play Never Gonna Give You Up. That'd be perfect.
I love that.
Yeah, I think it's Rick Astley.
It's got to be done. Who's the guy that announces boxing? What's his name?
Oh, Bruce. Is it?
I don't know. I'm really bad with names.
Let's go.
Yeah, literally. There you go. That'd be pretty cool. I guess that's not really sports, but then again, that is a show.
He's supporting you in a way. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So I've got one last question. So basically, on my show on a Wednesday evening, once a month, we have a topic where it's about talk about like mental health and just starting that conversation and kind of it's kind of like I've had listeners kind of write in and listeners kind of call in and things like that. And it's one of those things, it's just, I think everybody at some point or another has been affected or will be affected with these little gremlins in your own head. Right. So I kind of want to get a collection going of artists that I speak to. Whereas if there's anybody who is going through crap in their own head, what bit of advice would you give? And I'm putting you on the spot. It's horrible, isn't it?
That's a really good question.
Mine would probably be that the way out's never easy. A lot of people that have issues or whatnot, speaking a little from experience, is you're trying to find the quickest and the cleanest way to like sort it out and stop those feelings, but very rarely is that ever the answer. Very rarely there's like actual shit that like you either have to confront someone or you actually have to like look at what what it is that's making you feel that way, and it's never easy. So although it's worth it, the way out is usually pretty tough, but that's okay, and that's like I feel like that's a usual thing. So no shortcuts, I think, because up there is like kind of all you have. And if you're gonna take shortcuts anywhere, up there is probably not the place. So it's gonna be difficult.
That's really good.
Yeah, I mean there's trying to think of the right way to phrase this.
I know this is really horrible that I put people on the spot on it, but I kind of do it on purpose.
It's a really good question.
because I think we all have that. I don't think there's one person who hasn't had, even if it's a little bit, but no one talks about it. No one says anything, or it's like one person will say something, you're like, oh my God, me too, and you don't feel on your own. That's why I put you on the spot. Anyway, carry on. I'm gonna shut up. It's your turn to answer.
I'd say start with the small things, like genuinely just waking up in the morning or afternoon, if however you're feeling, and just do something little, like make your bed, have a glass of water, I don't know, have a bath instead of a shower, take a little bit of extra time just to like think about yourself and put yourself first. And although, you know, however bad things may be, like Charlie said, you know, drinking, smoking, doing drugs or whatever, is
I literally said no, none of those things.
Well, it's a shortcut. A shortcut. But
we know what you meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
It's like, even though it's just, you know, gonna help you escape and like temporarily dissolve those feelings, you know, it'll only end up making you feel worse the next day. So the best thing to do is just like start small, but, you know, start to, I guess, actually face things head on, because when you get through it, and, you know, yeah, when you get through it, you sort of learn a lot about yourself, and, you know, there's a lot to be proud of as well.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Like, I don't think you ever feel like you're completely better. Don't think anyone is, because we're all humans, we're all messy, and our brains are absolutely insane. But
Yeah.
it is, you can be in the darkest part of where you are, but you take those little steps at a time and you do the hard stuff, and then one day you are literally like, oh my God, I did it.
Yeah.
And that's worth it.
No, absolutely. Absolutely 100% worth it.
It's a journey.
It is a journey. I was about to break into the Journey song. What is it? Come on, brain, be my brain. What did Journey sing?
No, that
was Bon Jovi.
Don't stop
believing. More than a feeling.
No, don't stop believe. There we go. Right, I think we should end on that. Thank you so much for this morning. What I'll do,
somber ending.
Yeah.
I know. What I'll do, I will we can make a happy ending. Let's do a Harry Potter quote. Do a Harry Potter quote.
No.
No, I don't want it. I want it to be sad. You're done.
Oh, what have you done with my boy?
Oh no, wait. We'll take the lot.
You've just made it 10 times more somber. That's sad.
That's one I kept in mind. I'm really sorry.
It's fine. I really, really appreciate talking to you this morning. Thank you.
You too, man.
Thank you
so much. And thank you for keeping me awake, because literally 4 o'clock this morning, I put on the EP and was just like, we've got this. So thank you so much. Have an amazing day. And I really, really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
See you in London.
Yes, see you in London. I'll be the drunk one at the front. Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.